So I'm up about 40 grand by following Alex Becker's crypto portfolio and token recommendations. This is what we do here on the channel. I personally cannot find a better way to trade crypto than this. Literally looking at the top influencers, people who have millions of followers, like Alex Becker, who can push any token, any new token with a small market cap onto their millions of followers who think that they know what they're talking about. And a lot of the time they do, sometimes they don't, but it actually doesn't even matter which way. And so when these two factors came together last night, Alex Becker having a new YouTube video with his tens of thousands of people who've watched it in the first 11 hours, the hundreds of thousands of people are going to be coming on and piling onto this. And the second factor, the crypto fear and greed index. Guys, when this is in the yellow, look, it's been in the yellow for a few days now, which is medium greed, which means there are opportunities. But when there is way more greed, we've just ticked into the green. You can see last night we've ticked into the green. These recommendations for Alex Becker are like on steroids. They go even way more up. They skyrocket way further because people are more greedy in the market. They're more liberal with their cash and they're spending their money and they pump these tokens. You can see Parallel AI. This is a token that we're going to jump into today. I'm going to go through a little bit more context around it and then talk about it specifically. Is a brand new Alex Becker affiliation and recommendation. And show me on this graph where you might think Alex Becker has mentioned this token. Oh, maybe it's right here at 3:45 a.m. my time in Australia. Last night when it went from 15 cents, jumped all the way up a clean 2x in a matter of hours up to 32 cents from one YouTube recommendation, which I'm going to show you how brief that was. Now, this wasn't the only coin that pumped, so please tune in and let's have a look. Let's zoom out and give you some context so we can make the best plays ongoing, because if you're missing opportunities, that's totally fine. Relax a little bit, make sure you're in the right position, make sure you're upstream like I talked about in yesterday's video, so you're not in part of the mainstream waiting to get the information way down. But there's going to be hundreds of opportunities, guys. There's going to be 100 plus tokens that are going to 100x, and all you need is one to really change your life with a decent amount of money in there. Put $1,000 in there, take 100 grand out. That's a win for the bull market for a lot of people. So Becker tweeted on October 15th, "It's blatantly obvious AI, games, and memes are the play." And we were talking recently because memes have been absolutely massive. Is Becker going to get associated and into memes and start pushing them as well? He says the difference at the moment is AI and games haven't moved as memes have yet. He thinks AI and gaming is obviously going to move because they are about to catch back up. You have been warned. And if you watched his recent video, I'm not just going to repeat his video because go watch that if you want to watch the whole thing. But at the start, he was very candid, looked at the camera and was like, this is the moment that you've been waiting for. This is the cusp of the super cycle, the memes and the games that literally since late 2021 when things started crashing, Becker, myself, and a lot of other people have been waiting for. Becker thinks this is absolutely the time. Go watch the start of that video. He's very candid when he says that. Another influencer that we track, one, because they have a massive following who they push their tokens to, and two, because they probably have one of the best track records that we track, maybe the second best track record out of all the influencers that we track. I wanted to show you the 100x challenge, where Crypto God John has really called some of the top returns, a 360x, a 170x. He takes the top two positions, where Becker only comes in third, and then look down the right again. They're all Crypto God John calls. He's absolutely a killer when it comes to calling a 100x plays in crypto. He tweeted out, "First meme coins going parabolic. Next up, AI and gaming coins." Exactly what Becker is saying. And Becker replied down here, "Yep, they have legs." And I mentioned this quite a bit, but Becker runs an AI company. He also, I still think, is affiliated with his company Hyros. I don't actually know how to say it, where he got $140 million or so exit from it. He's a businessman, number one. He's a real big biohacker. Crypto isn't his number one thing. Where people like Crypto God John and people like Elio Trades, crypto is their number one thing. And Becker basically gets a lot of his philosophy, learnings, and token recommendations and affiliate hookups from people like John. Becker tweeted, "Whatever your strategy is, memes, games, utility, AI, if you're chasing/FOMOing into whatever is hot, you're doomed." What's everyone looking at right now? You're probably looking at, I know I'm looking at, and starting to get in memes. That's the stuff. You see the SPX 6900 absolutely rally all the way up to almost $1 billion market cap after sitting at about a $12 million market cap for a year. Everyone has FOMO. They wanted that 100x for themselves. But Becker's thesis is don't go where is already hot, go where is going to be hot. I don't know if that is exactly proper English, but you know what I'm saying. The people making giant gains in memes, games, AI bought 6 months ago and are now holding positions and doing nothing. That's what I was talking about at the start of this video. I'm up 40 grand or so in the last 10 days. I didn't really buy many of those tokens recently. Take notes. You must have your own thesis. Yes, you must have your own thesis in order to be responsible, but if you just wanted to match Becker's results, just copy what Becker does. You don't really need his thesis. If Becker loses money, you're going to lose money. If he makes money, you're going to make money. Ilya Trades, who, again, elite trader, does really well. He founded Superverse, which is one of the big blockchain gaming infrastructures now. I've said for 6 years, one great game will bring crypto to the world. It's literally happening right now. 6 years of unwavering dedication, and we're just getting started. Their thesis the whole time is that one game would break out, go mainstream, and lift everything else. And that game is this one here on the left, Off the Grid. The difference is 6 years, says Gabriel. This is retweeted by Alex Becker. Web3 gaming has a bright future. So this was Axie Infinity that got to a $44 billion market cap in the 2021 bull. You can see the graphics and the simplicity. Verse Off the Grid, which has had all the influences and crazy attention from mainstream. It was ranking, I think, #1 in the Steam store. Beckers says, it's always been better code and infrastructure. It was always going to be seamless. Imagine when hundreds of games are running like this, talking about the Off the Grid game. Just one early release lead to 50 million transactions, blockchain transactions, inevitable pumpage. And this was in response to the top streamer, Shroud. And these are mainstream names in gaming, guys, like Tim the Tatman, XQC. I'm sorry if I'm getting these names wrong. I'm not actually a gamer, but I've been looking at it on my Twitter timeline and just seeing Imperial Hal, all the people who are literally the top tier gamers are talking about blockchain. And they're talking about Off the Grid more specifically than blockchain. They're mentioning the blockchain because it's the layer underneath, but this is what everyone's been talking about. Once crypto gaming reaches the point where the users don't know they're making blockchain transactions, they don't know what their seed phrase is in the wallet, that is when it's going to take off. And 50 million transactions happened because of Off the Grid. This is Kyle Wilson. Off the Grid hits over 50 million transactions and over 3.8 million wallets since public launch. Avalanche was pumping because of this Off the Grid game, which is built on their infrastructure, and they onboarded 3.8 million wallets. Guys, this is just one game, but it is the one that is leading the way at the moment. I saw someone ask, is there an Off the Grid token? Not yet, and they're actually running not through a specific token, but a studio token. We'll have more info on that. Make sure you hit the subscribe, and actually come and follow me over on X. I was going to put this later in the video, but we'll put it in now. I'll be tweeting about when Off the Grid token is coming out, and the Gunzilla token and everything associated with that ahead of time, so you don't have to wait for my YouTube video to go up. And I post breakdowns on influencers and everything you like about this YouTube channel. I'm putting more of that content in this bull market over there. So if you're liking this stuff, and if you like me, come and give me a follow. Come message me as well. I've been DMing a few people, and it's been nice interacting with you guys. So if you have any questions or anything, ask them there, and I'll likely get back to you unless I get a little bit flooded. But I always enjoy reading them and sort of tailoring my content around your guys' feedback. Okay, but over to the fun, because what is the new Alex Becker token? And what were the other tokens that pumped, and why do we think they pumped? And first of all, I'll reiterate, I think they pumped, a lot of these tokens pumped because of this greed index is entering the green. If you don't know why it's entering the green, there's about 5 macroeconomic factors that are going into this, and this is predicted, especially by people way smarter than me. I feel like it is personally, if I give my personal advice. It may dip a little bit, but I think over the next 6 months, we're going to be very bullish. That's why I started doubling down here on the channel and in my own crypto investments. But people way smarter than me, everyone who I look up to, is saying that this is the time that we're going to go absolutely parabolic. So we're in the green of the greed and fear index. And then Alex Becker releases a video. Now, he talked about quite a few tokens, and he goes down the list. You know how he doesn't coin market cap. He's like, Beam, Immutable X, la, la, la. But what I thought was interesting is the ones that pump the most, like you had PAL pump a bit, and that's already got a high market cap, but XBG, Xborg pumped a lot, and this is a little bit blurry, I'm not going to play this video, but he said that it was stupidly undervalued. You can see the captions here when he mentioned Xborg or XBG, and I'm actually quite a big holder of XBG. We participated maximum allocation in their seed round because Alex Becker was an advisor there and was strongly recommending way back then, and have a look at how much it pumped. So at the start of the day, this is just a day graph, it was sitting at 12 cents. Now you can see there has been some waves. I don't know if people knew he was going to mention it. I remember 355 was the video here. So it was at 14 cents. Pumped straight up to 20 cents. held strength, and then has recently, as I'm recording this video, had another pump up to 22 cents. So it's a 77% up just today, which is massive. And in my theory, which may or may not be correct, but this is the way I'm feeling, it's because all the other ones he mentioned the tokens, like that's good, that's good, that's good. These are all going to be billions of dollars in market caps, and they're currently sitting in the hundreds of millions. So he's thinking that most of them are going to be about a 10 to 20x return. But then he called XBG stupidly undervalued, which I think people ran and bought that one because of those two words. The other one, however, and guys, if you want to know Beckers' complete or 98% complete portfolio, what he's holding going into this super cycle, because he says a lot of the games and a lot of the AI tokens, you don't need to do anything. Just sit and hold. So if you want to know what he's sitting and holding, we made this sheet for the inner circle, but I'll make it available in the link in the description below because I love you guys. The big caps at the top, mid caps here. It's 50 of the tokens that he's either said that he's holding or that are in the wallets that we are tracking, that we know are Alex Becker wallets, all put out here with the market cap pulled in so you can see exactly how big the projects are with a nice little picture. And I believe they're all linked up to CoinMarketCap, so you can make sure you're buying. If you personally want to buy these, don't let us influence you if you want to buy or not. Your choice if you want to buy, but you can go and make sure you get the right contract address so you're not getting ripped off. Also, I'll throw a little promo in here. If you want more than just this sheet, inside of our inner circle, we actually did a 50-minute walkthrough where myself right here inside the new podcast studio and my brother Tristan, who's the lead researcher inside of the inner circle, who gets way better crypto returns than I do personally. He spends way more time studying it. He's way more technically inclined than I am. We discuss our favorite picks, what prices Alex Becker got in at, which tokens we think he's just promoting because he's affiliated with them and is not going to do good. So if you want to see those broken down, join the inner circle. The link is in the description below. But what's interesting is there was a brand new token mentioned in Alex Becker's video that isn't on this sheet, isn't in his wallet, hasn't been mentioned before in his socials anywhere, YouTube or Twitter, and he actually hasn't even been paid out yet, and I'll show you that in just a second, by the company. So literally impossible to track. But inside the video, which is this slide right here, he said, for example, there's something called Parallel AI, which he called a brand new, which is, I'll probably throw it in the title of this YouTube video because that's the title and the keyword that hits that makes these things jump. It's only at a $12 million market cap. He says it's an AI coin that came out that is solid as F, was literally what he said about it. And people were like, a $12 million market cap. Becker just pumped it on his YouTube channel. It's greed and fear index. This thing's gonna blow. And it absolutely did. This is the one I showed at the start of the video here. It went from 15 cents up to, at the peak, about 32 cents. A clean more than 100% return in just a few hours. This is what we've waited for. Not only the bull market where everyone's going to make money, but the bull market where influencer recommendations are insanely powerful. And I don't know a better way to trade the market than copy trading people like Alex Becker. Now, I thought this was interesting though, because this is inside the contract address of Parallel AI. And if you want to know what Parallel AI do, they say that they're unleashing the power of parallel processing to slash computational times for AI developers by up to 20x. So it's infrastructure for AI developers to help have parallel processing, which is obviously I'm guessing 20 times more powerful than non-parallel processing. I'm not technically inclined, but you can see this pump because it's a small new project, which Alex Becker's, if you have a look at the video, it almost looks like it's cropped in, like post. It's like there's a cut before and there's a cut after that he mentions it, and it's CoinGecko when all the other tokens he was talking about was on CoinMarketCap, so we already had the tab pulled up. It very much seems like, oh yes, I've had an allocation from these people, I'm going to shout them out and pump their token and advise them, obviously give them some business advice too on the side. You know, that's definitely the main thing that they pay Alex Becker for. It's definitely not exposure because he can pump tokens, tens of millions of dollars in market cap in one tweet. But what's interesting is inside the contract address of Parallel AI, you can see they have rewards.parallelai.eth. Now, a lot of projects do this and they separate the reserve, the ecosystem, the development, the marketing into different pools. And you can see the rewards or the marketing is basically what they're going to be using to paying influencers and affiliates like Alex Becker. But if you go into those, you can see this is the marketing one here, which is obviously not the rewards, but that's probably the staking. Marketing is going to be where they're paying their promoters from. It was 17 days ago was the only transfer, and that would be the transfer in, and there's no transactions out. So they haven't actually paid anyone, including Alex Becker yet. If you want to see something like PAL, which skyrocketed to an $850 million market cap. And it's one of my least personal favorite tokens. I've got a little bit of a beef with Powell, but we don't need to go into it in this video. You can see that they have had 474 transactions paying out influencers. And guys, paying out influencers works. They paid out 474 transactions. I don't know if that's individual influencers or they could be paying every month for, say, a handful of influencers, 30 to 50 influencers, and it reached almost $1 billion market cap. And I personally don't love the fundamentals of that project, and so this strategy works. And so I personally will be curious to track these funds and see which influencers they go to. One, to look at other influencers that we can break down together, and two, to see exactly how much Alex Becker is getting paid for those sorts of promotions. Now, the overall takeaway from this video, though, is Becker pulled up the Google Trends. Bitcoin searches are at all-time low. Everyone's confused and thinking that meme coins are going to be the massive meta. This is Becker's perspective, not specifically mine. And that what's going to happen is it's going to very radically shift to AI and to gaming. And not only is it going to shift, but the mainstream is also going to come. You're early. We're probably in the first 15%. There's probably 85% of people who don't even know that Bitcoin is close to its all-time high again. And Becker's thoughts is once that crosses all-time high, once it gets to 90, 100 grand, guys, this market's going to get crazy, and a lot of my videos might not be, these are the portfolios. It's like, when do we get out? When do we take our money and go and spend it somewhere fun? And so for me personally, and I mentioned this a few times inside the inner circle, there's two ways to play it. One, the buy and hold. This is Becker's portfolio. I'm showing you right here exactly what he has, what he's holding. We've done all the blockchain research for you to get exactly what his wallets are holding, what his socials are saying, putting it all together using software, developing that software so that we know exactly what these big traders are doing. But there's the second part, which we have the wallet tracker for, because you also want to know what the new tokens are that they're buying and selling, because once the market heats up, we're at a 65 greed index. Once it gets to an 80, once the mainstream's here, imagine the next Alex Becker purchase from one of his wallets. Imagine the next meme coin that Murad purchases from one of his wallets. They're going to absolutely fly. And this is why inside the inner circle, not only do we do the breakdowns on people like Alex Becker, but we do it on Crypto God John, Elliot Weinman, Carl Chassis, Elon Musk. We just added Murad, House of Crypto, and Tate. Anyone with influence, anyone with a really awesome track record, we're constantly in there updating their portfolios, tracking their wallets. You know the new tokens that they're buying and selling, and you can literally get, not saying it's going to be profitable, but you can literally get the exact same results that these people are getting with all the network, with all the knowledge, with all the funds that they're getting, with all the research they're doing. We can simply copy trade that and lock in the same returns. Whether Becker loses $5 million, which he says he's got $30 million in the market, which is phenomenal. His money is where his mouth is. So whether he makes 100x returns or loses it, we can guarantee that we are getting the same results. If you want the wallet tracker and the portfolio breakdowns and everything else we're doing inside this awesome community, link is in the description below. I love that I've been seeing a lot of people signing up recently, because this really is, in my personal opinion, the eve of the super cycle. It may be a month, it may be 6 months, but I feel like this might be the moment that we've been waiting for years. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.